just want to say from the beginning, can you please leave a comment at the end of this video? Thanks. We have a question here from Scotland, and a Mrs. Sylvia McSaunders, who hates double entendres. She asks why you thought it okay to travel to Holland for the start of the Invictus Games, but not to the UK for your grandfather's memorial.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I've got a double entendre for Mrs. McSaunder.
I better take this question. The great thing about being us, right, is that you haven't got to logically justify anything, you know? You can just kind of make it up as you go along.
Freestyle.
To the untrained eye, this may appear as though it's just firing of pot shots, callous pot shots at the late Prince Philip and the royal family as a whole by attending the opening ceremony of the Invictus Games, but not attending the memorial service for Prince Philip. But it's not. It's not.
Oh, what is it then?
It's, perfect. It's loving. It's lovingly perfect.
It's perfectly loving, and lovingly perfect, and perfectly loving. Do you see what I did there? Do you see what I did there?
Yeah. Yes.
I switched them around.
You sure did, Harry. Yeah, we get it, Harry.
Perfectly loving became lovingly perfect.
When you say the untrained eye, what type of training are you referring to?
Are you interested in signing up for a course?
We're talking about a viewpoint which is, unshackled by the burden of logic. And, once you're trained to see this new viewpoint, you'll realize that what we did was loving and compassionate and not in any way malicious.
It's like training for the Navy SEALs, but the spiritual kind.
And if you still think, what we did was malicious, then it just proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that you need more training,
We really should think about that, Meghan. Start a course that studies your teachings. You could train them.
Well, it's possible, something for the future.
Yeah. The government would probably grant student loans within the year.
Really? Do you think?
On it.
Yeah, get that down.
Oh, right, well, please don't ever say I suggested that, because that was a terrible mistake on my part.
Let's get back to answering some questions from our viewers, shall we? Marcus Broughton asks, why do you and all the other 33rd degree members of the Wokerati continue to use the term hate when you actually mean dislike?
No, we mean hate. That question should be a hate crime itself, or at least a non-crime hate incident.
Yes, but how would you reply to Marcus if he said that by replacing the word hate for the more accurate word dislike, it becomes a non-crime dislike incident, making you appear immediately foolish?
It shows the power of words and language, right?
Usually the same thing, but yes.
Yeah, we dislike because it's full of hate, right? I mean, the word dislike implies that the power of definition lives independently in each individual,
whereas we know it lives in the mysterious collective that only some of us have communion with, such as yourself, Meghan. It's the only way I'll get work.
Hate is out there, it's completely unamazing. And when it hits you, it makes you want to sob for hours.
Yeah, but that would be the incorrect term. I mean, it's hate. But, for instance, at the National Television Awards, your interview with Oprah, when put up on the screen, was roundly booed.
Racists.
And this particular audience would usually be considered a stronghold for the lefty gobbledygook you attempt to indoctrinate us with.
I haven't heard gobbledygook for years.
Yet even this audience disliked you. Yeah, but in a hateful way. Some, perhaps. But I think Marcus's point is that although some of the booers might hate you, they all dislike you.
making hate the potential and dislike the essential, meaning that the term dislike is a more accurate description of why they booed. Yeah, but then you can't get anything done. Like you said, if it was called a dislike crime, everyone would just say, hey man, that's life. Get over it. Exactly.
With the upcoming release of your wholly accurate and honest account of your life so far, Harry, in which you wish to share what you've learned, which in itself is an ironic mix of the comedic and the grotesque, I thought that we'd explore some of the allegations that have been levelled against you.
Yeah, it's getting hard to keep up. It's like I'm living in their head, rent-free.
Excellent. Excellent. Amazing, actually. For instance, Meghan, it's been reported that you moaned about public engagements and walkabouts, saying, I can't believe we're not getting paid for this.
Well, no, that's not strictly true.
What she actually said was, I can't believe that I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah, but it's not because of greed, though.
No, not like the jewellery that you were loaned but wanted to keep when you left. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was greed.
And there's so much that needs to be done, right? And it's what you see when you walk around these places, And I gotta be honest, I've got my own ideas, I know how to fix things, but to facilitate them, I need money.
The moolah. Indeed.
So I'm walking around and I'm waving and I'm shaking hands and I'm seeing the desolation of the poor and the colonial opulence of the rich. And, I'm doing nothing, I'm not earning anything. I'm earning nothing. So I just become part of the problem, And, I'm watching injustice and I'm witnessing people richer than me living in splendor, and that really gets to me. That really gets to me. I just found it, hard to believe that they expected me to just donate my time, like I'm some kind of worker bee in a hive mind.
Oh, you're very much a free thinker, Meghan, bursting with original thoughts and never simply pandering to whatever sulfuric nonsense the volcano may spew.
She is such a free thinker that sometimes nobody else in the world has got any idea what she's on about.
With a display of characteristic professionalism, Meghan, you've employed a fact-checker for your podcast, which is, of course, misnamed Archetypes.
Yeah, I just thought it would be best to, get an independent fact-checker for the podcast to make sure that, everything's up to scratch and on the level.
You've selected a woman, of course, and a very brilliant woman.
Yeah, I was just looking for an independent fact-checker who was really excelling in their personal life and in their personal interests. And, they can come on and really hold the show to account, and maybe even me to account if necessary.
I don't think that'll be necessary. And if she actually did, can you imagine?
And what I really want to do is avoid the accusation that I'm creating a low-energy echo chamber, only interested in pushing narratives that are beneficial to grievance mongers and those who feed off the all-pervasive victim mentality.
Oh, what a thing to suggest. However, you have selected a virtual carbon copy of yourself, Meghan, albeit one with slightly more literary ability, Nicole Pazolka, whose interests include criminal justice, activism, music, business, queer culture, and gender.
It's almost like a rewritten version of Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire, but with more beautiful lyrics.
A little while ago, Meghan, a video resurfaced where you claim to be able to cry on the spot.
One of her many talents.
Give me 3 seconds, you reply, when asked how long it would take to squeeze some insincere brine from the corner of your eye.
Her left eye.
Thank you, Harry. One can easily understand how you could use this in your career as an actress, Meghan, such that it was. But the obvious question is, have you utilized this capacity in your personal life?
See, that's the thing about my Meghan. She's got all these superhuman-like powers. She doesn't use them in real life, on the civilian population, which is so humble, so moving. Actually, it brings a tear to my eye. My Meghan only ever cries at correct and appropriate times. And they're real tears, not Hollywood tears.
I'm sure, Harry.
She cries at sad movies, the suffering of others, unless she brought that suffering on. When Lilibet and Archie do something adorable.
Yeah, just all the normal stuff.
Yeah, just normal things, like if anything happens to a poor innocent animal, or if someone votes Republican, or if I disagree with Meghan and try and express my own opinions.
Yeah, but you know how much it hurts me to have to listen to somebody else's opinion, that doesn't completely align with mine.
Oh, I know, my little cheesecake. I'm just a hot-headed ginger sometimes. You know that.
Eye-opening. But how do you fend off allegations, Meghan, that you employed this skill at the Queen's funeral, with cameramen snapping pictures of that solitary tear winding down your left cheek?
Yes, but how can you prove it came out of her left eye?
So what's the implication here? That I would use the funeral of Britain's longest reigning monarch, that I knew was literally going to be viewed by billions of people across the world, to showcase my fabricated emotion by the way of fake tears for the cameras? Yes.
I've already said it once. Meghan only cries when she's genuinely upset or bubbling with rage. Like when we were shaking hands with all the well-wishers and those 2 girls avoided your eye contact and didn't offer a hand, were laughing under their breath.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Of course you do. Well, tears were flowing that night when we got home. Not yours.
Apparently, King Charles has asked for the assistance of the insufferable Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, in brokering a deal that would allow you two to attend the coronation.
Yeah, I knew they'd come running in the end.
It's all just a waiting game, It's all about timing. You show bewildering levels of gall by blaming Brexit for, in part, the wreckage of your fairy tale by the way it liberated the racist sentiment that you claim has pounced on you, Meghan, like a paparazzi porcupine.
Oh my, this time paparazzi porcupine.
Brexit was an abomination. It cleaved and united peoples into two. That's not the way we're going to confront the problems of the future.
The problem is that in the past, we never confronted the problems of the future today.
That was a video. If you want to see any more of this mad lot, it might be worth hitting the notification bell and subscribing, liking and sharing the channel. Thanks.